Okay, back at it again, Sunday morning. I thought I'd come out, I'm only going to come out for half a day today. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this bit. I'm going to measure that up, cut a piece so I can weld it on there, make this piece, and then gusset them both, and then that's going to do. I've sat down last night and I was thinking about this. I've got to try and come up with a way to keep the cutter has got to keep fairly close to that one. And so we just got to, well, there's not a lot of movement there, but I just need to work out some way of guiding this so that it cuts up against that. So I'll think about that, but for now I'm going to, like today, get this bolted up. I might even take that plate off because Dion likes to keep the plates off things and stick them on his, well, that'll come off quite easily. And then put a plate there, weld it, gusset it, take that off and re-weld it. Just getting that right, that's going to be the issue. It's got to be spot on, pretty much. Yeah, and that'll do me for the day. So this video probably won't be a real long one, but see how we go, eh? Once I get everything cut and measured, then what I'll do is I'll unbolt, I'll take that off, just slide that off. Once I pull that pin, that just slides out the back, so I'll take it out. Just to give me this plate, then I can sit on the bench. And when I'm finished today, as you can see, I've started on the next lot of mess. I'm going to pack everything away, obviously put those outside, sweep the floor from where I was grinding or vacuum the floor. So, and get it back into some conditioner, letting it go like I always do. So, I'll start cleaning up. I've got me Monster today to get me Pepsi first up. I've got me Monster first up. So, I'm going to put a little bit of music on. I'm going to get the steel in. Or if I can find enough of the bigger stuff. There's a couple of little bits there, the 10mm stuff. I don't really want to use that biz unless I have to, because I pay a little bit more for that. I think I paid was it $80 or $90 for that piece of biz. But I'll work something out. Like I said, the 6mm will be just as good. I was just thinking for this part here, I'd use the 10mm. Just for this bit. This plate and the gussets can be 6. So, stay tuned. Right, I was getting carried away here. I've got a bit of steel. I've measured here the height, which is 70mm. So I've just got to clean that off. I've cut that other piece off. So what I'm going to do now is weld that, and now I'll put that bit of a bevel on there so it sits in that corner a little bit tidier. So that'll sit about there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fully weld that in. After I cut some more, I'm going to cut a little bit more to extend that as well. And then I'm going to put it all back together, sit it on here, tack it before I pull everything off. So I want to hook everything up first and then tack it and then sort it. So let me do a little bit more and I'll bring you back. Alright, I've got that tacked on and it's running. The only thing I had that I worked out, I think I'm going to have to bring it back. I think it's a little bit too far forward, because when it come back it actually come out of the tracks because I made the stroke a bit longer. So I had to weld these two guides in and now it's working fine. And it's not rocking anymore because I've extended the back here. So it's no longer rocking, which is good. So what I'm going to do is just check it now, because I can still see a gap down the end there. So I might just have to cut those tacks and just move it back just to another 10mm. Yeah. And see, because I've extended that back now, that arm does actually go down in that slot. I've got to be careful there where I put my fingers while this is operating, otherwise I'll lose one. So, there we go. onward and forward. What is it now? 20 past 11. So I want to try and get this knocked over before lunchtime. Stay tuned. Righto, that's all tacked on. So what I'm going to do now is take this off, unbolt that, and weld that out. Stay tuned. Righto, there we go. I know I didn't film a whole lot today, but just the mood I'm in today, I just wanted to get shit done. So it's nearly 12:30, so I'm going to go in and have some lunch, pack up. And there we go, it's nice and steady. Let me start it. Beautiful, look at that. The whole thing bounces a little bit, but I've got to secure it properly. I see it's flexing a little bit on here, at that end. But once I've sorted a few things, I'm going to put a bridge under here to brace this, under the bottom. I'm going to put a couple of them actually, because it'll clear that crank, so I'm going to put one there and one there, just to strengthen this whole thing up. So that's that. So what'll happen now, I probably won't get back to this now till Wednesday, so I don't know if I'm going to upload this video, I probably won't. So next time it'll be Wednesday, just tomorrow I'm going for a ride. Tuesday I've got to get down to Bunnings and get some shit. So Wednesday I'm going to come out, I'll put these braces on here, and then I'll start fabricating the cutting head. I'm going to sit down and think about how I'm going to align that block up, and I'm thinking of maybe making this end adjustable. I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes cutting the copper up, although I can't really test that until I get all this sorted. So I might even try and get this sorted and test it before I make the rest of it. So yeah, that's running nicely. I said I'll put a little bit of grease on that, and might even just walk away on Wednesday, or just while I'm working, I'll let it run for half an hour, just to make sure things aren't going to heat up. They shouldn't. I'll swap that wiring around so it runs the right way. Because that's why I want it to run that way, so when it's pushing forward, when it gets under pressure, it's pushing down, not trying to push up like that. If I was doing it the other way, so... And keeping in mind, I'm going to put a cage over this as well. So... there we go. I like it. I mean, it's not, this slot here is not 100% square either, but I don't know what's going on there. But it's running fine. It's running straight. So you know, it's not really precision engineering. It's just got to crush cans and cut pipe. I've just got to make sure it's going to have enough power to cut the pipe. It should, because they have momentum on its side as well. And I'm going to make it so that you push it through this side, obviously, because the cutter's on the other side. We're going to make it adjustable, so you can cut it anywhere between sort of 20 mil and say 50 mil. So I'll have a sliding adjuster there. So yeah, there we are. A little bit done today. The welds aren't too bad, a little bit like cocky shit, but I'm going to dress those and sandblast it, and I'll probably powder coat this top part, because this will bolt on to the framework. But yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging around. As usual, until next time, stay safe. Peace. Just as a post note, before I went inside, I was having a look at this and I was thinking about it. You see how it's not flexing anymore? It was hitting the end. I had it a little bit too far back that way. So I got the die grinder out and sorted the end of it out, and now it's not hitting the end at all. So happy days. Righto, good morning. Back at it again. It's Tuesday. I didn't go riding yesterday, so I got what I wanted to do today. Yesterday, I got it done. So I went for a shopping trip. Went to Bunnings, had to go buy a new edger, the line trimmer. And then I ended up going back down to Jasmine to get a new stereo put in the Hilux because the other one shit itself. And while I was shopping, I went shopping. Some supplies for the workshop, paper towels, wipes. More cutting discs because I've got one left. Some casters, locking ones for the Annihilator. So it locks the wheel but also locks the caster itself so it won't spin. And some rivets, of course, because I'm going to put some sheet metal on, probably on one side or two sides of it. And I do have some, but I don't have any short enough like that. They're all too long. And of course, walk past that. It was $1.50, so for super glue. So I've come out and what I'm going to do now, because at the end of the day I really can't be stuffed cleaning up. But when I come out in the morning before I start work, I'm going to clean up like I did this morning. I cleaned up, swept the floor, put everything out, packed away the tools, put everything away. It's going to make life a whole lot easier for me. So I will be doing that now every morning when I come out to work. Aircon's on because it's cold. I don't know what it is outside at the moment. I think it's about bloody, it's not that cold, but it's 7 or 8 degrees and it's very, very foggy, so it's cold. Yeah, so I'm going to get into it today. I'm going to sit down and work out this. I'm going to chop the end out of this for the cans to drop through, put the sides on it, and then work out what I'm going to do with this, how I'm going to guide it into the chopping block, and probably make a new cutter. So what I want to do today, finish is get this welded on, my brackets that I was going to put underneath here. At the side, I've still got to get more bolts too, by the way. I was going to get those at Bunnings, but really it's cheaper to get them where I get my steel from in town, so we'll go and get some more bolts. Anyway, yeah, I want to put this on and make another cutter, and I want to try, well, I might not get it done today, but I want to re-harden these. They didn't harden at all. I can still mark those with a file, so I'll do a little bit of research. I think I might need to get them hotter. I don't think I got them hot enough. They were cherry red, but I think I might have to get them sort of more like orange and then quench them in oil. So that's my plans for today. So I'm going to sit here with my Pepsi and think about this for a little while, and when I've come up with a plan, I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Alright, I've had a think, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbolt all this, stick it up on the mill, clamp this flat. I'm going to take a skim off the top to square it up. Well, actually first I'm going to make some brackets and weld them underneath. Square that top up a little, and then I'm going to use a slot drill. I'm going to cut a slot, so when I make the new cutting edge, it's only going to be a couple of mil. Well, I haven't got a lot to play with, so and then do the same on this side. So it'll be something that'll hold that tight. And guide it. Even one side should be okay. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that when it's pushing, if it kicks, it's going to sort of try and drag the guide this way. So I thought if I have two, this side, you know, obviously it's only going to be that wide. This side's going to be sort of stick out about there. So it's going to be at least 15 mil. So I'm looking to say maybe 20 mil longer. And so what's going to happen is when it hits that cutting edge, the first thing it's going to want to do is twist it that way. So yeah, see, after I weld this is buckled a little bit now. I mean, it still works, obviously, you've seen it working, but it's a little bit out of kilter now. I don't know if you can see that. It's sitting up just a fraction on this side. So what I'm going to do is when I unbolt it, I'm going to put this bracket underneath. I'm going to sort of bend it down a little bit when I weld it, and then I shall put it up on the mill and just flatten this a little, Like I said, I don't have a lot to play with, but there's 6 mil, so I could take a mil off it and you know, still be safe. What's worrying me is how much I can cut down here, so I might have to come up with a different way. Of guiding it. So I can't put anything over the top because I need that open for the can to fit. Where's can? Here. So as you can see, that can will fit there nicely. When it's all the way back, oh, yeah, I don't know. I said I'll work it out. But I'm going to have to think about this for a little while and continue listening to Pink Floyd, which I'm listening to at the moment. That always eases the mind. That's bloody good music. I might sort this first, get it on the mill, sort a few things, and then think about it for a little bit longer before I actually do anything solid. I don't want to do the same mistakes I've been making all through this project, is rush into it saying, yeah, that's going to work, and then it doesn't. As you can tell, but you know, but that and everything else is just fucking, I need to stop and think before I do too much. So what I'm going to do is, once I weld these brackets on, I'll bring you back while I set up in the mill down there, and then we'll think about it a little bit more while I work out exactly what I do. See that? That's got no movement there at all now, where it did before. And I've taken the bottom off it so I can easily get it in and out. Now, look, see that? That's sort of sitting that way a little bit, so I might even run a cut down the side here. I'll true it up, because I'll look at that, I'll measure that. Or even use the holes, the bolt holes, as locators, rather than that, because that might not be square to those holes. Use those 2 holes as locators, and then straighten this up, yeah, and then try and measure. It's not easy when you don't have the equipment to do it, but sort of measure from those bolt holes there to the centre line of this, because that's all moved a heap. I thought I'd tacked it all fairly well, but now that I've welded it, I can see that's out by a fucking long way. So let me work something out. I'll cut some brackets for this, and once I've got them tacked on, I'll bring you back. Is it noisy? My son mowing the yard. Righto, Noisy's moved to another part of the yard. So I've got this set up. I put a drill in and lined up on these 2 holes. It's pretty close, very close. I can get the drill in there and spin it by hand. So what I'm going to do now, I've got that jack under there, just to stop it from vibrating. I've got me brackets welded in. I mean, I've got to finish dressing it, of course. I mean, it looks a bit how you going at the moment, but I've got to dress it, grind it up, clean it, make it look pretty, then sandblast it and powder coat it. So, but I'll do that once I've got the holes drilled for the mount, where I'm going to mount it. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'll put you in the stand. I'm going to take a skim off this. It's still hot where I welded it. Oh, it's cooling down now. Take a skim off the top. I actually straightened this out a little bit too before I welded those on. So when it was clamped to the bench, you can see this side was sitting up a little bit, so I just pulled it down. So I'm going to lightly skim, and then I'm going to run an end mill down this inside here on this side. And before I take it off there, I'm going to work out, I probably will put the thing in, and I probably will machine guides down both sides. Take you. They took a little bit off, which is fine, it's what I wanted. The other side is about the same, so I'm going to bring it over, probably touch it part way down here and take a little bit out of the back side here. Can you see that? This is my camera work is shit today, isn't it? Well, it's camera work shit every day, but otherwise I'd have 100,000 subscribers by now. So I'm going to just check and see how far the other side is out, and then we'll get to the machine and I'll bring you back then. Right, I forgot to start the camera up, but I just took a little bit out of this side as well, so that's true enough now. For you know, like for that is parallel to the center line of those bolts, and that is a little better. Like I said, I only took half a mil off that. I don't want to take any more. So what I'm going to do now is think about these. I'll bring the other bit up here. Actually, I don't know if I get it to go across far enough because it catches on that fucking thing, and just take a skim off that with the end mill. Although it's on the weld, no, fuck it. Yeah. I'll think about it for a minute and then I'll bring you back when I've got a plan. Okay, new plan. I've machined this, and what it is, I went wider. I made that even 25 mil. But I had a thought, and this is why I want to stop before I go too far. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut some weld slots in this. I'm going to machine this flat first, and then machine some weld slots and cut another piece and weld on top to thicken it. Then I'm going to redesign this. I'm going to take that off, machine that out, and make a new one so it fits in here. And I'm going to turn it over. Somehow I've got to work out how I'm going to hold it because that piece sticks up. And machine the inside of it. So I'm going to take these bottom ones back off. Like I said, I'd rather do that now than find problems later, because I think inherently this is going to be an issue, because those fucking things are useless. Because, and I mean, that's looser than I wanted it. I wanted it to, so it sat on there tight, and these sat inside those guides. So I'm going to try and turn it over. Once I've welded everything, I want to machine the inside of their parallel. Actually, I'm going to machine these slots, take those off, and then turn it upside down so I can use this to just use a parallel strip to line it up, and then machine the inside with that one. That one will fit in there. Will it? Yep. That'll fit in there. So, yeah, like it's a lot of fucking around, but like I said, I'd rather not get as far as I want to, and then rush it and then fuck it. So, what I'm going to do is now, actually, I might machine my slots in here just so it's easier. Like, I might even do a bit of weld prep on both sides, and then put a couple of slots, say 3 slots in there, so I can weld it. And then I can skim this top plate, the top one once on there, skim it, and then and do this, and then put this up, take that out and make another one so it fits in there, and make it longer. I want to make it longer than that. That's too small. I mean, overall, it's only going to be crushing cans and cutting copper pipe, but it's still going to be a little bit of force on it when it's cutting the copper. I'd rather have it over-engineer it and make it sure that it's going to work properly than under-engineer it and have it shit itself after 3 or 4 operations. So let me just tinker here. I'm going to cut those. That's why I've got this head in here. I'm going to just change that over, put a smaller one in, and just cut 3 slots on each side. And I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do a bit more after that. Righto. I've taken it down as much as I want to, I think, and I've cut those. So what I'm going to do now is cut another piece and weld it all together before I take these bottom struts out. And also, I'm going to weld something. I need to weld something on there to support it, because as you can see it chatters like a bastard. Obviously it's going to, and that doesn't stay tight, that keeps coming loose. Yeah, I'm going to turn it around next time. That's a pain in the ass. I might even weld it on here so I can clamp it down. Yeah, that'll work. And when I put it next time, I'll turn it around, because that keeps hitting up against this. So, yeah, I'll take this off and I'll go and get a bit of steel and I'll bring it back. Righto, I've done a bit, but I'm looking at this and I'm looking at it hard, because, you know, that from the centre of the hole to the centre of that is about 90. Okay. Now I've come over here. I've got it wrong the first time. I got 85, but that's a matter. I've got plenty to take off it. But if you look at the back, I didn't realise I was so far out. I don't know if you can see that, where the old one is there, and the other one there. Dickhead. There and there. See it? I'm on the cusp of starting all over. I truly am. There's got to be a better way to do it. There's got to be. Oh, to get it right. I don't know how I managed to fuck that up. Oh, it's repairable. It's not fucked per se. But if I try and even it out by coming across this way, then it's going to be off centre. So, you know, to keep it lined up with these holes, and I mean that front plate, that's pretty square, so it's out a fraction just sideways, but just hang on a second. Righto, I've decided I'm going to scrap it. That's gone. History. I'm going to go into town and get myself some 10mm by 150 flat and start over. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to drill the holes, make the bracket this way, bolt it all together, tack it, then I'm going to machine this carriage separate. So I'll use the 10mm, I might even put 2 layers and make it 20mm. And machine all this, and then make me brackets for here, assemble everything, put it all in, and then tack it. I think what I've done is I've gone all ass out of sequence. So I'm going to go in and get myself some. Well, I'm going to actually go and do that right now. It's 2:45. I'm going to go into town and get some stuff now. That's all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to get this off and upload it and just prove what a fucking moron I can be. But when you sit back and look and think about doing it properly, you know, I'm going to do it properly. Instead of trying to think ahead and plan ahead and do it, I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to piss off all that electrical stuff, disconnect it, get it out of the road. I'm going to get a piece plate. It won't be quite as wide as that, but 150 is more than enough. Be alright if you could see this fucking ruler, you can't. But that's 150, so that's more than enough to do that. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I'll get this made, get this bolted, get it on and get it welded. And what I'm going to do is underneath I'm going to gusset it so it doesn't warp, so it doesn't bend. And then stitch weld it instead of full welding, because fully welding it's just fucking warps everything. Stitch it. Get this sorted, then make this. So I guess it's too flexible. I can make it all in one solid piece. Yes, because if I can get 2 pieces together, weld them together, and then I can machine a step out of it for the guide underneath, for the guide that bolts on here. That's what I'm going to do. And then I can leave, because that's only 100, but what I'll do is I'll make it 150 wide, this bit as well. So I've got more than enough room to bolt it on here, I'll machine it, and then I can sort it, like, and do similar. Do this, tack it in place. Actually, no, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it. I'm going to drill some holes and I'm going to make brackets so I can bolt it so it's adjustable. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to town now and get some more bolts and get some plate. And we'll get back into it tomorrow. This is going to come off and it's going to go down there with the rest of the scrap. You live and learn. And anyway, thanks for hanging out again. And until next time, stay safe, hey? Peace. Alright, just a quick one with the phone. There's my steel. So we've got that and some bolts. $58, thank you very much. There you go. Stay tuned.